Hello there, welcome back, thanks for tuning in. And how about we set the world on fire together? Well, I already shared two videos about my very early game experiences with Path of Exiles. That was the first video. The second video was a guide, which might sound really weird because you may be thinking, hey, you know, you're a total noob in this game, why are you making a guide? But the thing is, what was difficult for me was the very first phase, where everything is confusing and I wasn't quite sure. It's like, well, you know, what are the actual game mechanics, where do I get abilities, what do I need to do? And I think that's one of the reasons why apparently a lot of people quit the game in the early game already. It seems a little bit overwhelming, so I wanted to share my experience and what I did to get further into the game and start enjoying it. That's what that video was about. Now, I made a vagrant and I chose some skills that sounded like fun, sounded like there'd be a good synergy. I had some stuff that would do AoE damage, I had some stuff that would be you know, single target damage. I tried to put some points into something that would make me more survivable, you know, giving me better health regen and resistances and stuff. But eventually I ran face first into a solid brick wall. When I got to my mine, which is in one of the early acts, there was that thing that you have to do where you have to walk through your mine following a bear who's putting down a cable, and then you get to a certain checkpoint and there would be a swarm of enemies, and all the way there you'd be swarmed by enemies anyway. And I kept dying, and over, no matter what I did. I tried really a lot of different things and I really didn't know what I was doing wrong, and it was overwhelming to find out, did I spec wrong? Is my playstyle wrong? Should I try to be more, you know, get more survivability? Should I instead try to go for more damage? Because I guess it does make sense to focus on something, right? And it was really frustrating for a little while because I was like, hey, I have no idea where to start figuring out what I was doing wrong. And I checked out some beginner guides, and even those beginner guides I thought were really overwhelming sometimes because they were using terms that I wasn't familiar with, showed a talent tree, and they were really already far into that talent tree and stuff. And so I tried to change my tactic. Usually I probably would have tried to just reset my skills and try to build it differently, but that's a little difficult in Path of Exile because you cannot like simply reset your whole skill tree. So instead what I did is I checked out a guide that seemed kind of understandable with a build that sounded like fun, a fire-based vagrant. It's by a guy called Kappa. I'm gonna link his video. There's actually a collaboration video between him and another guy showing the, you know, how to build this, how to use this build, how to put it together, what to use, what abilities to use. And Kappa also did a really long let's play, where it's actually taking a new character, guiding you through the process of how to do all that. And so I checked that out and I copied it, and the idea why I was doing it is I'm not planning on using this build now forever. It's probably not possible anyway, but I wanted to see, okay, what's a good build? What does work in the beginning? What makes a good build? What makes it so efficient? And by copying this build and using it, I feel like I'm understanding better what to go for, what's possible. You know, this is an ability, a build that's based around righteous fire. So you see this fire aura around me, and in order to use that without dying, because the fire will hurt you as well, you will have to get a lot of fire resistance, and that's very much covered in that guide, which I appreciated. And so that's one approach that I'm learning, and it's a ton of fun. It's a pretty simple to play build, and it helps me to understand, you know, how to get started with a good build, how to avoid some beginner mistakes, what to go for, what to aim for, what's important, and that really helped me. So basically, I mean, I'm not gonna try and copy what Poxcapper did, as in like explaining this whole build to you. It's a very basic thing based around disability, the Righteous Fire, and high fire resist, and you can just walk around and burn enemies to death and also add some damage yourself with a spell called Rolling Magma, shooting these fireballs. And it's, you know, I'm sure a lot of people have tried this build, and it's the first beginner build or guide that I really got into, and it helps me to understand. So I am gonna continue playing this a little bit, trying to see, okay, where's it going next? What do I have to pay attention to? And it really helped me. I want to go back to my original character and build it better, improve, or maybe start over with a new character and try a build that is fun to me, where you know, what I did with that other character, combining abilities that I thought were fun or made sense for AoE and single target damage. I want to do that for sure. And for now though, this is a great lecture. So if you feel like you're struggling, if you get to the point where you really can progress, where there's like this serious brick wall of difficulty or anything, maybe try to take a look, even if you just take a look at the builds and try to understand what makes them so efficient or what makes them so good. It can still be difficult because I'm looking at the skill tree and my brain kind of shuts down because I'm like, oh my god, this is so much stuff that I have to process there. But this helped me a lot, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with this build further. I'm going to follow the guide a bit more and continue playing this a little bit and try to understand better what works, what doesn't. I can also farm some stuff that I can use for other characters if I build more, and so I'm really looking forward, and this is fun. It doesn't feel as good as if I had built my own character and you know, made a very successful one. Mine wasn't, so I'm gonna stick to this for a little bit and then go back and see what else I can do with different classes, different builds, and try out different approaches there. So that's a little update. It's a little piece of advice. There are great builds out there. Sometimes they feel overwhelmed. I can understand that. You know, if I would do a guide on a game like Warframe, which I've played a lot, or I don't know, even World of Warcraft or something, it may be difficult to understand and to like limit yourself, where you go, okay, all these words that I'm using are second nature to me, but what about a new player? You know, how well can a new player understand all this stuff? Am I overwhelming them already in the beginning? So sometimes these builds can be still overwhelming. That you will really need to invest some time. This is not something like, okay, put your talent points there and win the game. But there are some great builds out there. I'm enjoying this. It helped me a lot to understand stuff a little better, and I can't wait to see where this goes. And then I really want to try different classes, try different builds, and try my own builds as well. So I'm gonna go for a combination of trial and error with my other character or characters, and following this build to understand better what makes the game tick, I guess, what's efficient, what works well, what is a good strategy. So there's another piece of advice: don't get discouraged if you're into this kind of game. I think you will enjoy this game. I'm having a lot of fun, and so I'll see where I'll go, and I'll probably share some of my experiences. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time, and I'm gonna continue setting this world on fire for a little while. Bye bye!